What I see in the children here, I see in myself. All the struggles that they have, I too had those struggles growing up. It's easy to look at the surface and think, oh, you have everything together and you've had such a privileged life. Well, I grew up without a father, and to this day it still hurts. So the girls here that grew up with fathers because they've abandoned the mothers, because they need a boy, or I know what that's like too. Some of these girls have lost mothers and they have died from different cancers and they're being raised by family members. I understand the relationship Sandhya has with her grandmother, and I understand the relationship Sandhya doesn't have with her own mother, because that was my life. I see Sandhya and I as having parallel lives. A father that doesn't acknowledge her existence, but a grandmother who loves her to death. And so I really can relate to every person up here. And I look around and theoretically, yes, yeah, I may be surrounded by poverty, but I don't see it. I just see people that I want to spend my time with, I want to spend my days with. This is where I want to be. And people say to me, oh, Sandhya is so lucky to have you. Well, no, I'm really lucky to have Sandhya and Anula as well, because without these two women in my life, there's no way it would be possible for me to live here or to dream and accomplish anything.
Like other girls, my parents also expect me to go to abroad, to go to Cyprus, to go to Kuwait and be a slave, earn money and come back. And that time was I can never forget those times. I don't want to go, I want to continue my study. My mom just told me, if you don't want to go to Cyprus, then we don't have any relationship with you. I say, okay, it is okay, but I never will be someone's slave. So,
अनि त्यतिखेर नातिनी त्यो चाउचाउहरू यस्तो सामाखानाहरू लिएर आउँदा त भगवान उत्पन्न भए जतिकै भयो नि बाबु.
The day of the earthquake, I had just left our home. We had just finished all the renovations, a month of painting and getting it all cleaned up, and it was our home, but it was also a community center where all the children came, and we had our grand opening party Friday night, and it was just a perfect day. And then I was heading into a Jeep and the earthquake came. Boulders were coming down in front of our Jeep, and I thought, oh, I think I need to go home. But I never thought for a minute my house was going to be down. And then all I could see was the blue garden umbrella, and there was nothing behind it anymore. And then I realized, oh, I guess this is an earthquake and we've lost our home. There is a family that would be deemed by North American standards to have absolutely nothing. There they were, looking after myself and my son and Sandhya. And yeah, coming back in September that year, Rose Stiegler had gave me $2,000, which was a huge amount of money for our organization. So I used it, we created the scholarship fund, and I used that initial $2,000 and put children in school. The children that were with me during the earthquake, the children that slept beside me during the earthquake. Coppola, who dragged me by the arm to her family's place and made, you sit, you eat. And it was this 15-year-old girl that gave me strength. There's no words to really explain the strength she gave me, this 15-year-old girl. And that was a child who had nothing. There she was for me. And starting our new company, our clothing line, it's not that I want to go back into business and make, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I am doing the business to support myself so I can stay here and continue with our projects. And yes, doing the community center in Malamche will be my proudest moment. Children in a first world country, they have so much opportunities, and I want to give that opportunity to the children here. And thinking outside of the box and exploring music and dance and art really adds to one's growth. It truly will be my proudest moment, the day we cut the ribbon for the grand opening of the Malamche Community Learning Center.
सबै साथीहरु बोर्डिङ जान्थे अनि म मात्र स्कुल जाने गरेथे त्योहरु रमाइलो लाग्थ्यो जानु मन लाग्थ्यो अहिले बोर्डिङ जानु मन लाग्छ राम्रोसित पढ्न मन लाग्छ सहयोग गरिदिनु भएकोमा धन्यवाद भन्छु नि त्यसपछि म धेरै राम्रो पढ्दै गर्छु
मलाई खुसी लाग्छ नि अब त्यसरी अनि बोर्डिङ जाँदैन थियो उनीहरु स्कुल जान्थे अनि अहिले सबै बोर्डिङ पढ्न पाउँदा अनि खुसी छु नि म त
My main dream is many of girls, they just read up to 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2 and they go to abroad because of family problem. I want them to continue their studies and to dream for themselves, not for others. Live for themselves.
The one blessing I had in my life was my grandmother. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be in life. So we all need that one person to really care about us, to believe in us, to give us hope, faith, and the ability to dream. And I had my grandmother. So for that, I'm extremely grateful. And if I can be that one person in a girl's life here that gives her the ability to dream, then I've done my job.